speaking about shows a moment ago, because I heard that when you first came back, you played on a rotating stage.
Yeah, the Good Day Sunshine Festival.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. We were so lucky to do that show though. Very lucky, but I actually got really dizzy.
It was I think they used one of the things from a car showroom. That was the stage.
You know how car shows, they have that car that's on the circle thing and they like show it off and spin it around. That's what we were on.
How does that work though? So you have like a crowd and you're like in the middle of the crowd.
So there's four. We're in the middle of the crowd, and then there's 4 sections. So they section it off in like cubes, and then we're spinning around to like each section
in the middle of the like we're right here, smack bang in the middle of the cross
foreground.
Yeah.
Wow,
we're really good at explaining things.
Why were they doing that? Like, what was the kind of thinking behind it?
I think it was
for distancing, for the social distancing.
Yeah.
To be able to have a certain amount of people in like a space, they had to do it.
It was the first rotating stage in WA. In WA in, I think it was a certain amount of time, but I can't remember. But
wait, so they used to use them? Like, was that like a thing in the olden days?
I don't know.
I don't think it was. I think it was like a new. I swear I heard that.
I believe you though.
I did not.
You turn the round.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they just did it to meet the restrictions that they had to do.
I guess it's a good idea. Like, kind of coming up with these creative solutions to beat the restrictions. But how was that for you performing? Like, with the stages turning like every.
We were kind of like we weren't facing how we normally like are on stages. We're kind of like spaced out and like facing in different directions so everyone could get like a view. So we're kind of looking away from each other. It was really weird, but it was still fun. It was an experience, that's for sure.
It was.
Talking about on-stage experiences, I heard you got ambushed by a bunch of cowboys on stage one time.
A bunch of cowboys?
No.
What? Where did you hear that from?
I read that in an interview, that there was like a kind of troop of cowboys join you on stage.
I really want to remember this time.
What?
I remember
was it on stage or was it?
I don't quite remember. I feel like if it happened to be on the Polish Club tour, though, because there was a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, the Polish Club tour was crazy.
Crowd was like hectic.
Oh my gosh, that was a time and a half. I love that tour.
How come it was so wild?
Well, I think that because their music's so hectic, I think the crowd they draw are just full-time frothers. So, you know, they
go hard.
They went really hard. And we were all so young too on that tour.
4 girls on a stage.
Just like la la la, with all these like hectic, you know, rock and rollers.
But on the last show of their tour, we actually got up on stage with them and like played tambourine and sung with them and stuff. It was so fun.
That was what's fun. I think we did a Christmas cover.
We did a Christmas
I think
cover.
we all sang All I Want for Christmas Is You spontaneously.
Oh it was wild.
It's like Mean Girls.
Oh, look, speaking of Polish clubs, that's the poster there.
Nice. Wait, are you in your practice space just now?
We're in Maddie's bedroom.
All right.
Yeah. But we're just rehearsing at a house tonight. We usually rehearse at like a studio.
So do you all live together or do you all live separately?
We all live separately. We're around each other too much already.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she went. She just went.
It's all right. It was that like, you know, that thing you do to people. It was like, gotcha. Yeah, anyway. So we're getting distracted.
What's someone you've learned about each other in the past year that you didn't know before?
Ooh.
That you have a mean side to.
Like, hence exhibit just that we just
I always thought Ash was
a mean side.
No, it's not mean, but just like
a banter side.
A banter side, you know?
Oh, that's good. I hope I'm not actually mean.
You're not. I'm just joking.
We're going to be branded after this. Ashley, the mean girl. Meeks, the funny one. So Meeks
what have we learned about each other?
What have I learned about you? Meeks is really, really good at selling clothes because whenever I go, she works at a clothing shop. Whenever I go there, she says, Ash, you should try this on. Next minute, there you go. I'm like, I don't, yeah. So that's about you. Random fact.
I actually don't know. I feel like I
knew.
Book. Yeah, I feel like I knew her already, like since Whopper. There's nothing new that I've learnt.
Wait, so how long have you two known each other?
We've known each other for like 4
years. About 3 years.
Yeah.
We met in 2018.
How long did it take for you to kind of be comfortable with each other, like in the creative space and like in the songwriting environment?
I think
it's taken a while. I mean, there's a lot of developing over time and understanding one another because everyone's so different with how they creatively work and how their brains work. So it's really just taking the time to understand each individual in the band. But I don't know, it's kind of developed over time.
Yeah, and I think meeting through a course like Whopper, everyone's thrown in the deep end. I think on our second day, everyone had to get up on stage and play their own song to each other. So
that we auditioned.
Yeah, I think that was like a massive thing for all of us to put our own music out there and show other people. I think that really helped us because then when we got together, it was like we know each other. We've had to show each other songs before, so we all like music. And I don't know. I think that none of us in the band are like, that's a terrible idea. It's always we're pretty open to different ideas, which is good. Yeah.
It almost sounds like before you started making music together, it was easier because you'd like already been vulnerable with your kind of writing in that space.
Yeah. The course that we did was really like creative and kind of you could do whatever you wanted to do. It wasn't strict or anything. It was just super.
Yeah, it was like a music artist course. So it was based upon songwriting and becoming your own artist, not necessarily like a session musician, even though you can go into doing that. But it had a strong focus on like creativity and that kind of thing, which is great.
Yeah, it was really good. And then we met Dulcie.
Yeah,
we met each other. So good.
How has your approach to songwriting changed since you started writing together and like operating as a unit?
Usually we start off with someone individually coming up with a basic structure for a song or maybe a verse or a chorus. And then I think we found that maybe if we meet up in a pair and work on that idea, then create like more of a song, then bring that to the band and then jump on it from there. Mm-hmm. I think if we take it step by step, I feel like we don't necessarily work best when we just get in a room and say, let's write a song from scratch. I think it takes a bit of time being by yourself and like writing from your own and personal experience.
Yeah. And even just like having chords and like building the song and the songwriting around chords that we have and we all jump on board as well. But Ash is a legend at writing. She is a genius.
No.
She's a genius.
What else?
What else? Tell me more. Tell me more.
No,
but yeah, no, we all.
It's a group effort.
It's a group effort, for sure. We're really lucky to have like so many songwriters in one band. It's really awesome that we can just all we all have our own individual ideas and we all come together. It's really cool.
I think it makes everyone equally as passionate about it as well. It's not like it's a solo project from one particular person. It's like we've all written this song. It's all of ours. So I think that's really cool. Yeah.
Especially when you're performing, I imagine. There's something different about it when you've written it and you're kind of performing that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
More meaning and feeling behind it.
Do you feel like the reason you perform and the reason you create is different? Like what's kind of fueling that desire to do that?
Oh, do you want to answer?
I don't really know.
I don't know why I want to be a musician. I think that it's really cool to be able to, like, music is emotion and to be able to share that with people. It's a pretty cool experience to be able to, like, feed off a crowd's energy. And I don't know, you can just, it's a pretty, like, powerful tool or it can just be really fun and you just meet amazing people and you get to travel.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And you spend so much time like songwriting and writing songs and all that. And it's your emotions that you're kind of putting out into the world. And it's so amazing the feeling that you get when you're on stage and there's like a massive crowd in front of you and they sing your song back. You're just like, wow.
Yeah, like when it connects with people, like if someone comes up to you and says, that song like helped me get through this time or something like that. That just is like, oh, that's amazing. Or this inspired me to play the piano or something. That's really cool.
Do you remember the first time?
Really cool. I love saying really cool.
The first time that happened, yes, I do. It was when people sung back to us.
People connected to it. Yeah, like when it connected.
It was.
I think
it was our single launch for our first debut single, Fall. We had it at Mojo's in Fremantle, and I literally shed a tear. It was so amazing. There was the crowd. It was our last song that we did, and the whole crowd was just singing it at the top of their lungs, and we were all looking at each other on stage. And we're like,
what? That's nuts. This is just for my mum.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Was that expected?
No, not at all.
I guess Fall's probably been our most successful song, and I don't think we ever expected it to be. I mean, it's not like a number one hit single or anything, but we just never expected it to, like,
reflect on people like that. To be able to learn the song and sing it back to us.
That's really cool.
Do you ever reflect on it and try and work out why it connected with people in the way it did?
I think the lyrics of Fall can connect to a lot of people because it's kind of about not being able to let go of a person or a relationship and just like ending up being stuck in the same place when you're trying to move on. And I think that is something that a lot of people would struggle with. So maybe it's like, I don't know, it's kind of about overcoming that and just telling yourself to be authentic and true to yourself. So I don't know, maybe people like seeing it like, I can do this.
I can get
through it. If Ashley could do it, then I can.
Sake of Sound kind of touches on similar stuff to that. Like it's about kind of getting caught up in
have the same issues over and over again. I need to stop talking to my piano and see someone professional.
No way.
Yeah, I guess so. Or like that song's kind of about just saying, it is kind of the same thing, staying in the same place because it's familiar instead of
you feel comfortable. You feel comfortable with that person, so you're like,
is this actually making me happy?
Yeah,
probably not.
Could you relate that to like music as well though? Like, is comfort the enemy of creativity? Are you quite conscious of not being comfortable and settling into things too much?
I think that's something that we try not to do because I feel like we're so still developing our sound and we all have different styles of writing. So I would be pretty open to like just kind of write folk songs and I write differently to that. And then pop. You're more soul. Yeah. So I think that when you have lots of different influences, it makes it easy to be open-minded to ideas. And I've always thought if we play it how we like, how we feel, then it will have our own sound about it, no matter what kind of genre or who sings it. Yeah.
At what point when you're making a song do you kind of start to lose sight of all those individual influences and it just becomes Dulcie and it becomes your sound?
I think from the start it's always our sound because we all have, I mean, like we do have our influences with other artists and stuff, but I think Dulcie as a band, our harmonies make Dulcie makes Dulcie. So as individuals, we all have different genres that we listen to and we kind of jump on board with those different ideas and that's what kind of makes Dulcie.
Yeah, or it's like we don't really set out to be like, I want this song to sound really close to this song. Yeah. Or like, I don't know, I feel like sometimes you'll be listening to like an artist for a little while and you can definitely hear the influence of that, but it's never like, I want to
be like that.
Yeah, I think it's just trying to be yourself. But definitely influences come through just so you like.
Yeah.
And what take it on board and you learn from it.
What you're listening to in the moment, like what you're listening to at that time when you're working on the song.
Yeah,
or just like
we know your conscious mind, you don't even like realize, and then you're like, oh my gosh, that's probably because I'm been listening to this artist.
Or you think you've written something really great, and then you're like, oh damn, that's not even my song. That's somebody else's song. That's
the song I've been listening to for a week.
Gosh darn it.
That was kind of like Dust as well, wasn't it? Did it not come together, or the initial memo came together when you were driving in the car and kind of just singing along melodies to whatever was playing?
Yeah, that I do a weird thing where I just like sometimes just hit a bit of inspiration just mindlessly driving, and then
she always writes when she's driving.
Yeah,
and that's why she always get a speeding
I get
fine.
So many speeding fines lately. It's terrible. I'm going to lose my license. It's so funny. Let's not even talk about it.
But you write good songs.
Thank you. It's worth it. I'll put it on tax. But can I do that? Yeah, no, I just will push record and I just drive, and I'm glad that no one else is in the car with me because I'll just sing anything, random
stuff.
And I just found it and I was like, that's kind of
wasn't Dust like an old song?
Yeah, it was like really old voice memo that I had. I should try to find it.
Really old voice memo, and then we revisited it.
Yes. that one changed a little bit, like the melody in the chorus. We made it a bit more hooky and catchy.
Is it different coming up with melodies when you're driving and you're away from an instrument to what you would come up with, say you were playing on the piano?
Yeah, definitely. Sure. I think that's kind of a good thing because you can sometimes just play the same chords that you like or that you're familiar with. So if I'm just driving and singing anything, I don't even know what key I'm in.
You don't know what key
I don't know what tempo it is. Like, you should hear these voice memos. They are not pretty.
Super
they
jazzy.
are like, whoa, that is some funky music, Ash.
Yodeling.
Yeah, I did go through a yodeling phase, but glad that didn't work out.
But it is true. It's like when you're driving, there's no like music behind you, so you can just literally sing whatever you want to sing.
Yeah, and then, I don't know. Just stream of consciousness.
Is there someone as well about the fact, because you have to focus on the fact that you're driving, you're almost not being self-critical? Like,
I'm not trying at all. Like, you can't even tell what notes I'm hitting sometimes.
You actually listen back to voice memos and you're like, oh my gosh, I thought that was good. But
I hope, like, I think that'd be my worst fear if something happened to me, someone finding my voice memos.
Oh my god.
Please, if something ever happens, no one's allowed to touch them. They're confidential.
That's so funny.
It's interesting what we were saying there about the idea of kind of focusing on someone else about when you're driving. Is that a similar thing for ether or when you're snorkeling and you kind of come up with the concept for that song?
I'm sorry, but I love it. I did not. Maury was like, Ash, you need to write down how you wrote this song. And I was like, really? Really though? That's so embarrassing.
It's the best thing though. That's so nice.
There are a lot
because I literally went snorkeling at Shipwreck in Perth and there was so many fish and I was like, wow, that is a beautiful fish.
I know, look at all those fish. They just are getting along and they don't even think about anything.
What else is happening?
We should be more like the fish in the sea.
Do you go snorkeling a lot?
I used to growing up. But both our parents lived in Denmark, which is down south from Perth. And there's a really nice snorkeling spot called Green's Pool. And I went there snorkeling whenever we go down.
Yeah, we don't have that here in Scotland because, funnily enough, we don't quite.
Oh, you're from Scotland? I thought you were from Scotland. Yeah. Jorby. I know Jorby. Peely Wally.
That's not a bad accent, to be fair.
Thank you very much. No, I lost it.
You fucked it there, though.
Yeah. What else? I know a bit of slang.
What's something else?
Jorby, Peely Wally, tatty scones.
Yeah.
You have a tatty scone.
What does that mean?
I think it's a type of food.
Oh.
It's like a toast type thing that you put in the toaster, but it's like made from.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. As if.
Yeah,
I have Scottish in me, but you'd never know.
Where's all the Scottish slang coming from?
Well,
story for you.
Hot teen. I just have a friend in Scotland. That's it. But we met at a music festival and we've been chatting ever since. And he taught me all the Scottish slang. Actually hasn't replied in a while, so that's a bit sad. All good.
It's okay.
All right,
okay.
Good
write another song.
No, he was telling me about all this Scottish slang. The end. Full stop.
What's some good Aussie slang?
Yeah, mate.
Cobber. Hey, cobber.
What's another one?
Hectic.
That's
hectic.
That's hectic.
I feel like hectic's a universal word, isn't it?
I feel like
true. Maybe it is. I don't even think that's Australian. Meeks is googling up Australian slang as we speak.
I know Bogan.
No,
that's the one piece of
Bogan.
I know. Bogan,
that's where I live. Bougainville.
Oh, Bogan. They just all you need to do in Australia is swear a lot, and that's Australian slang.
Well, that's the same with Scotland, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like we've got that in common. That and the drinking culture.
Yeah, right.
True. Yeah, you Scottish. You like to drink.
She'll be right.
She'll be right, mate.
She'll be right, mate. Dead set.
True blue. Hey, true blue.
Hey, true blue.
What's true blue?
Like true blue. Like
let me read it to you. Loyal friends and family members with solid personalities.
I
did not even know that.
I didn't even know that. I thought it was like true blue. Like true, cool.
True blue.
Oh, a grommet. A grommy? A grommet?
Nah, grommet.
Grommet.
Like
that's a grommet. So it's like a young surfer.
Or a skater.
With blonde hair, long blonde hair.
Okay, so like kind of like the surfer stereotype.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. Anyway, that's some good Australian slang for you there.
Wow, I feel like we're both so cultured.
To come, let's go back to Heathrow for a little minute, because we were talking about the kind of message at the heart of that, where you see the fish
Oh,
and you think about how it would be so nice if we could all live together in harmony. How does having such like a clear message and a clear idea at the heart of the song influence the way that you develop it?
well, yeah, that one I wrote. Well, usually I just write straight up on the piano, just singing words to chords. But that song kind of started as lyrics because I wrote when I was in Denmark after I went snorkeling and I had this beautiful fish encounter experience. I wrote a poem, which was like a lot of the lyrics in the song. I'm actually so lame. I wrote a poem about the fish in the
beautiful
sea.
thing, Ash.
And
That is
then
not lame at all.
my friend said, Ashley, that is beautiful. You should turn that into a song. And so I did. And here
We
are.
should take a photo of that poem and put it up somewhere.
Yeah. Even more lame than the song itself.
How do you turn a poem into a song, though?
You have to cut out
I
words
don't know.
and stuff.
Yeah, I cut out a few words. I kind of
Rephrase and stuff.
yeah, I guess like songs are poems, kind of like
Yeah.
they have a bit of a beat and a rhyme to them. So I just kind of tried to sing different melodies with the words that I'd written.
And what would fit for that kind of sentence and stuff.
Yeah. And then the chorus was completely from scratch, kind of just made that up. But it was mainly the verses. The verse of the
We had a complete different bridge from
Yeah.
what we've got now. That kind of got developed in the studio with our producer Joel. What was he playing?
the prophet.
Yeah, the
keyboard.
prophet. He was playing the prophet keyboard, and then we were just playing around, and then that kind of happened as our bridge.
The riff.
And we fully changed the whole bridge, and it works so well because it has such like a ethereal sound to what he's playing. It's
Like
really
you can
cool.
hear the fish swimming around
you
in
hear
the
fish
song.
swimming around, having a good old beautiful time.
Oh.
Actually, what was the original bridge?
Basically, it was
As one,
breathe into me, oh, breathe into me.
repeating
oh.
the chorus bit,
Just kind of
and
like
then
building on that,
just
repeating
building it.
that.
which we always do.
We love a good build,
We love a good build.
love a good stab, love a good acapella.
Dulcie stab.
It works really well though when you've got the kind of gang vocals thing going on. Like if you do that build, like what you're talking about there.
Yeah, I love that part.
Actually, Murray wrote that line. Good job,
Yeah,
Murray.
I'm
We should get a
sure.
royalty for that one. Well, he was just sitting in the
Sort of
corner and we just couldn't figure out what to do. And he was
Oh.
like, as one, mic drop.
It was so funny. He literally said, yeah, as one, and then he got up and he just walked out of the room and he was like, see ya. It was so funny.
Is it different writing for a song though? Like what you were saying, how you brought that bridge in when you're in the studio. Is it easier to write for the song once everything else is kind of there?
I think,
Oh yeah, totally.
yeah, I think so. I think once you have a clear idea of where the song's going, then it's pretty easy.
Once you've got the structure and the form of the song, then it's quite easy.
And Joel's super good at helping us to make more hooks and to make it more catchy and stuff like that.
Because we tend to use a lot of words when we sing, so he always just cuts.
And
cuts out
when we
bits of
talk
parts.
as well.
And when we talk as well. But yeah, he just really makes like parts of it catchy. And if he thinks that a part doesn't work, he's like, all right, now that needs to be more catchy. Let's figure something else out. And then we just scratch it and use something else, or it's good and we keep the what we had before.
Just about simplifying it a little bit almost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think
basically.
I think the more that we've recorded, the more when we're writing ourselves, we
I'm
are conscious of like, we don't need that vocal bit, or
Yeah,
it's like less is more sometimes.
yeah.
So
We're kind of conscious of like making the song catchy, basically.
So does that does that actually bleed into when you're beginning work on the song? Like instead of just kind of in the editing process later on?
I guess now I think that you just learn different things from
All the
different
time.
people and how, like, especially working with a songwriter / like a producer, not just someone who's recording us, who's contributing ideas as well. We've never really worked
Had
with
that
other
before.
songwriters, so just learning from their experience is really helpful.
They've been around for a lot longer than us as well.
Don't tell Joel that. He'll be offended. He'll be like, not that old.
A lot more experience than
Yeah.
us, let's say that.
What's a lesson you've learned from Joe?
Definitely simplifying songs, basically. Simplifying songs
I think being open-minded to like completely chopping them up and like, I don't know, just not being not being afraid to rearrange and try different ideas and and
pick where you want to do harmonies, because we tend to just put harmonies on a lot of things. So kind of like pick where we want to place that harmony and just really like simplify and be open to changing ideas and stuff.
It's interesting as well because when you listen to the songs, they quite often seem to be writing, although we're saying, they kind of cover these bigger issues, they're often writing to someone. Like you often seem to have a person in the song that you're addressing.
Sometimes. I guess like not all the time. I feel like people sometimes write things for like other people to feel as well, because they could be like, someone might be going through that. Let's write a song that they can really connect with.
Like, it's kind of like you're making up a story about something. That was the case with Dust. Dust wasn't really written about anybody. But
or it's like even like your friends or something are going through something and you write about that.
Very true. Yeah, you kind of just like a sponge trying to soak up inspiration from anywhere you can. Give me a story. Tell me your life story. Let me write it into a song. When you're experiencing an emotion yourself or are going through something, it's easier to write about it because you just want to get it out. The end.
And it's nice. It's nice for yourself as well, because then you're not bottling it up inside, and you can actually express it in a way of writing a song out of it and getting a nice song out of it.
I know
some people just write in their I guess people write in their diaries and stuff too, and we probably do that as well. That we could grab some of that information and put it into a song as well.
Yeah, it's like when life's going a bit too good, it's like, oh my gosh, did something really bad happen? I need an idea.
Yeah.
I need to write about something.
Do you keep a diary?
Wouldn't you like to know? Dear diary.
You'll never know.
You'll never know. No, I definitely do a bit of journaling here and there.
Sometimes. When I have time, I'm a very busy girl.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can't write about in a song that you would write about in the diary instead, as a way of like getting it out, like what you were saying?
Possibly. Yeah,
I mean, if it's really, really, really personal, maybe.
There's things that you don't know how to express, so then you express it on paper, but then you kind of just get it out because you need to get it out, but then you can visit it and rephrase and not make it sound as hectic, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I get it's funny being a songwriter because it's like things that you wouldn't even tell your friends. It's like, let me just tell the whole world exactly how I feel. Whenever you write songs or something, my family will be like, oh, is this about this person? Is this about this? It's like, oh no, like it's not about anybody. Don't even worry. People always just try to
know what's up.
Yeah, it's like, I'm fine, Mum.
It's interesting what you were saying there about the diary, though, where it's like, it's almost like the diary can be a step to songwriting. Like you have to get it out. What is it about that format that is kind of easier to write in as opposed to songs?
Well, I guess you're not overthinking like melody or like lyrics. It's kind of just your thoughts.
You're basically just getting your thoughts out on paper, and you're not actually having to sit down and think about what song am I going to write.
Or like overthinking, like this has to be a good idea, this has to sound good. It's just like, let me just get
whatever out I want to get out, and then if it's any good, we can use it as a song or develop it.
What you were saying earlier on as well, that sometimes you'll write about a friend's experience. You won't just write about your own stuff. You might see something that's happening in their life and decide to create a song about it. Is what would drive you to write a song about someone else different to what would drive you to write a song about yourself? Is the intention different?
Well, sometimes in the past when I've written a song about somebody else, it's because like you can kind of feel their burden as well. So it's like, oh, especially if you're close to them, it's like,
it affects you.
It affects you as well. Like it can weigh on your mind as well. So it's like, I don't know, sometimes it's right there, so it's easy to get that out.
Yeah. And then it's also like, if it's about someone else having an experience, you can have that time to think about what it is, and you're not actually hurting so much, so you can actually understand
an outside
perspective of the situation. So you can take that time to really just like know what you want to write. Whether if it was like happening to yourself, you kind of just want to get it out and just write anything.
It's almost like you have more perspective on it when it's someone else's experience.
Yeah. You kind of, it's a different perspective
Yeah.
to being
what-
so internal.
Yeah. It's like an outside perspective.
Do you hear it in the songwriting? Like, can you tell apart the songs that were written about someone else's experience to the songs that were written about your own? Like when you hear them?
I don't think you'd necessarily hear that it's about. No one ever knows. Like, kind of.
I know. I think it's like, and also what kind of words you use. Like if you're saying like you, like own ground, you're a nomad in your own land. You tell me, or it's like the use of like I and you, that kind of thing. Maybe.
You could probably
when you're writing about someone, or whether you're writing about yourself, or whether. But I guess the ones where you're pretending to be somebody else, then you
I like
tell.
those ones.
That's just a big old mystery. You have to work that one out for yourself.
I was going to say, because you could just go through it and every time you say I, just change it to you and suddenly it's a song about someone else. And
Hey, that's a good little, project.
Okay, so this tour, we're going to change this song and have it as a different perspective. So we'll change it to you.
I mean, one of the songs that is sometimes, I think, has you in it and is singing to someone as Level Head, which you close the EP on. I think it's the one we kind of haven't spoken about, which has, I think a lot of these songs have been around for a few years, because I know Level Head you were kind of playing.
Yeah, we're ready to get them
we
out.
Are ready to get it out. First EP. So
because like we've been writing so many songs, so it's like I feel like those songs are, from when we first got together. Yeah, so there's more to come.
Do you think Level Head is the most vulnerable you've ever been in a song?
I think it sounds quite vulnerable.
That song so much.
Well, when we were playing it as a band, it used to be really hectic, like full drums, really heavy drums, and it was just too much. It was like up, up, up for the whole back end of the song. And
Rock and roll, baby.
Yeah, we got to the studio, we were like, whoa, let's chill out, everybody. Let's just do piano. And we had cello and violin on that, which I love. I think in terms of production, it's like,
and stuff.
Yeah.
Had a low end bass from a Moog. Sub bass from a Moog as well. Had that towards the end of the song. I'm so glad it's just like stripped back, because I feel like it has more meaning towards the song as well, when it's just like harmonies and simple piano and just all of us jumping on and singing on the song. It has a lot more meaning to it, I reckon, than us just like smashing like all the cymbals.
Yeah, it definitely sounds a lot more vulnerable, because it's like it's just kind of voice and keys, so there's not much to hide behind.
Why was it so hectic the first time around? Like, what was in your head when you were creating it?
Because we were like, we're a band! We are a band! We play our instrument loud!
We're a girl band, let's do it!
Rock and roll!
We had no idea.
Hence the learning of lessons more since recording with Joel.
It's like, whoa guys, chill out, come on.
Is it almost like then these songs, they have the spark of what was special about when you first started the band, but you're kind of presenting them with a maturity that wasn't there when they were initially created?
Definitely, probably.
Yeah, I think we've grown as a band since.
Yeah, we're literally with some of our songs, we're still developing them since we first wrote them, which was like years ago. Like, they're still developing over time as we're developing as a band and changing with sound and what we know about like songwriting and all that. So yeah, maturity for sure.
When's the song finished?
Oh, that is a deep question. I don't know. I think that usually by the time we've finished recording it in the studio, that's when we probably fleshed it out the most. And
because you hear so much when you're in the studio as well.
Yeah, or like you think you're coming in with a finished idea to the studio, and then someone else will have a different idea, and it just changes up.
Yeah, you hear so much more, because it's all so like separated, and you can hear every instrument and what's happening, whether when you're in like a studio, a rehearsal room, it's just noise.
Yeah, like you have a different perspective on the song, because you're hearing it from like, you're not singing it and like hearing it at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, you're listening to it, you can hear it differently.
And it develops in the studio for sure.
I mean, when you went in to do Level Head, did you have any idea of what the strings on it were going to sound like?
No, I guess kind of, but we had a guy who, like, I can't remember where that. Sorry, the day we decided to make it really stripped back, we were like, let's get some cello on it, but we only had, I think, one more day left in the studio when we made this idea. And then we had a guy, Ben Paddy, he literally stayed up all night and made a cello and string arrangement for.
And he wrote out charts for it as well.
Like, it was nuts.
Oh my gosh.
And then came in the next day, had hardly slept, and just tracked.
He's incredible. He literally tracked for like 2 hours and just layered it, and then had the charts out for the cello. The
cello player turned out to be a regular from my work, which is really random. I was like, oh, hello.
I know you from work.
Who would have thought? That was so random. I didn't know that she played cello so well.
Yeah, but Ben is a legend.
Yeah. So I feel like we didn't need to do any kind of envisioning because they were just so professional and they just nailed it.
Before you brought them in, was the song going to be stripped back, but just without that kind of added arrangement?
Yeah, I think they add so much to the song with cello and the string.
Yeah, we literally didn't think to have cello or violin or viola.
I think it was just was it viola too?
Viola, I think. At all. So I think once we heard it as like a studio recorded song, we were like, it needs more. And we thought like it would sound so good with cello and all that. But yeah, we just didn't even think about having it on the track at all. And I'm so glad we did because it makes the song.
Are you good at keeping a level head?
Yeah, I think we're really good at it.
Yeah, you know what? I think we've gotten better, all of us, collectively. Yeah.
And we all have each other's backs as well, which is really good.
Yeah, it's true. I feel like we're like a little family now.
Yeah, sisters, watch out.
Yeah, look out, world. Everyone has good and bad days. You know, you're not always going to be 100%, but I think that's the good thing about having a band, like a good old little support network.
It sure is.
Yeah.
So good.
It's like when one of you maybe isn't having a good day, the other three are. So it kind of balances itself out.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that more important on tour or in the studio?
I think it's probably just more important, like, rehearsals and, like, I don't know, because I think we're all so busy. We all have other, like, jobs and stuff and other things going on in our lives. And we meet up to rehearse probably, like, twice a week. Probably, like, we mainly see each other rehearsing and playing gigs and being in the studio. And that's, like, smack bang in the middle of your week and you had a really shit day at work. Pardon me. Bad day at work.
You're allowed to swear.
And then... Okay, that's at work. Yeah. I don't know. You come to rehearsal and you're not feeling your best. Yeah. It's like sometimes we just have a little half an hour debrief about what's going on in everyone's lives and how everyone is, and then get it all off your chest.
And then we're good to go.
Max some instruments.
And I think with touring, like, you are so busy and you're traveling constantly and you'll get so exhausted. I think it's just making sure that you're doing everything right, eating healthy, drinking water, getting enough sleep. Yeah, making sure that we're always checking in on one another as well and seeing how everyone's going. But I think it's like touring and just everyday life, like rehearsing as well.
It's a weird it must be a weird balance, because especially when you go on tour, everyone else that you're kind of surrounded by is doing this full time. And then it always seems to just be the artists that are the ones that have the kind of thing on the side to keep them going. How do you kind of navigate that?
Oh my gosh.
We bloody burn ourselves out all the time.
Do you want to hear my week?
Yeah, go for it.
So Monday, what's today? Tuesday.
Wait, yes.
Yeah. Monday worked, Tuesday worked, had rehearsals all day. Wednesday, I'm working. Thursday, we're flying out, and then we're playing a gig on Friday. Then we're flying back to Perth on the Saturday, have our gig at the Rosemount on Saturday, and then I'm working all day Sunday.
How long's the flight?
5 hours.
Oh, it might be like 3 hours to Adelaide. I don't know. That's what Murray said, but I don't know. I was like, what? I thought it was 5 hours. I don't know.
It's just busy constantly.
Yeah, right? It is. It's like work, music, and then it's like, oh, I want to have a social life. Oh, but gosh. I don't have any time to write any songs.
And your weeks go so fast as well. It's just like, where did the week go? Crazy.
Have you found that? Have you found since you were in the band and things kind of started gaining traction that time is moving a lot faster because you're so busy all the time?
Yeah, definitely. For sure. I think if you're keeping yourself busy through like every day, it just goes so much faster. And then you realize it's like, oh, wow, it's already the end of the week.
Yeah, the days do go by very quickly.
I mean, one of the big things about songwriting is this reflective element to it, and it's such a reflective exercise. when do you find the time to do that? If you're so busy, do you kind of have to consciously make time to do it?
Well, sometimes I feel like I write best when, the thing is, I really don't like writing when anyone's at home.
Yeah.
And I have a housemate and she's home quite a lot. So I feel like whenever I'm at home, like in between a job or something, and I get home, I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody's home right now. Yes, I'm going to play the piano. And it'll be like, I'll have half an hour. And I feel like that's when I'll have like an idea. It won't be when I'm in lockdown and I have endless time on my hands because I'm motivation. But I feel like it's like, when I have that little bit of time where I can like go in and or have the night at home
have
to
your
myself.
Own self, yeah.
It's like, my housemate's out, she's somewhere, and I have the house to myself. That's when I'll write a song.
There's a lot of bangers that we hit before we get a good song.
Yeah, I mean, like you definitely have to write a lot of bad songs before you get a good one. But I feel like sometimes being busy helps me to write almost. Not all the time.
Yeah.
You do need to have time to write.
I love writing and just getting on the piano when I'm hungover. So after a big night out, I don't know what it is, but I just love it. I'm
That's
like,
cool.
oh
So
yeah.
what songwriters just say that? They say it's like a cleanse, like it's just getting all the bad vibes out of them.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I've never tried that before.
That's whenever I'm like, yes, I'm going to jump on the piano and I'm going to just sing whatever I want to sing. Like, I just want to sing.
I just want to sing. Let me sing.
And it's so weird though. It's like whenever I go out drinking the next day, I'm just so ready to write. It's really strange.
Wow, well, next time hit me up.
Yeah.
When you're going out, next day I'll be there with my keyboard.
We can both try and write. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Do you notice any patterns in what you write during those sessions? Like, would you notice certain themes cropping up and stuff quite a lot?
Like, I feel so tired.
Sometimes I do.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's a theme. I don't think when I write after a night out, it reflects on how I'm feeling that day or like what happened the night before. I think I'm just more open-minded to writing about anything.
Secret remedy.
Yeah, it's a secret remedy. Yeah, very interesting. I don't even know. I can't even pick it.
Hangover cure.
Yeah, forget your green juice.
Green juice.
Like drinking green juice.
Oh, after a night out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never do that.
Me either. Because you play the piano.
Yeah.
With what you were saying about being so busy all the time as well, is part of the reason you can be creative within that? Are you almost like feeding off the energy and the momentum of it and the buzz?
I think I'm always just so brain dead and tired that I won't write anything else but about being tired.
Oh, no, that's so sad.
Because I don't have room to think about anything else, you know what I mean?
I know, I feel like there's a balance of like when you can realize that you're too busy. I think that I definitely have a tendency to like overcommit myself or say yes to a lot of things, and then it's like,
and then you realize that
if you have free time, you just want to go to bed or something. But I think it's like when it's a good balance of you're looking after yourself and you're working and you're in a good headspace, then that's like a good momentum.
And you're motivated because you're always busy as well. You're like ready to do something.
When are you most motivated to write?
When are you most motivated to write? I think that I'd be most motivated to write when I feel like I need to get out my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
When I have a feeling and I just need to let that feeling go, just let it go. That's when I'm probably most motivated. I think when you're trying to like force an idea or come up with something original, it's the hardest thing. But when it's like something that you can really experience, then it's easy.
Agreed.
Thank you. You're here.
Good job, Ash.
Thank
bravo.
you.